Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And man, this article is pretty interesting. We're going to talk about it, and this is kind of what we suspected was going on with a lot of layoffs in tech and in the media. This person said, Scott Galloway, that all the tech layoffs are because AI is like corporate Ozempic. It trims the fat, and you keep the fact that you're using it a secret. So what is going on is a lot of people are getting laid off all over the place. They're getting laid off in journalism. We're going to talk about that. They actually had an obit for Vice and BuzzFeed and Complex here in the drum. And it's all the stuff we said. But they're getting laid off in video games, and they're getting laid off in, all over the place. And it's all like white collar work. But, it makes it so much easier to get rid of the bloat when you can just have a machine do the work for you. Mm-hmm. And I know that you always need humans. We're not talking about, we're not talking about replacing any vital organs. We're talking about getting rid of fat cells. And all these companies have all this lard that they need to get rid of, this dead weight.
Okay.
And they're using AI as, I think, a quick solution. It's probably not the ideal solution, but if they're like, hey, yeah, so we've got somebody out there constantly ranting on Twitter, and her job can be replaced, or his job can be replaced, or their job can be replaced very easily via AI, and we can get rid of them. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Save us some money. And we'll be like, oh, the economy's so bad. It's like, I've been wanting to get rid of that bitch for 5 years.
Which is gender neutral, at
Yes.
least in my vocabulary.
So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
I think this is funny. It's corporate Ozempic. Yeah, they said lots of big tech companies are slimming down and cutting their workforce. This corporate trimming of the fat has become common in the tech sector in the last couple of years. So this is a well-known marketing professor and media impresario. Scott Galloway has a theory as to what's actually going on. It's AI. The catch is many executives are hesitant to admit that they're laying off employees with the intent of replacing their jobs with AI. Yeah, because we see what happens. You get slammed all over social media. Like this is why everybody's so against AI. I mean, I understand it has a place, it has a purpose. I don't agree with it scraping content. I don't, and we do use it. I'll tell you, we use it on thumbnails and stuff, but that's disposable content, right? Mm-hmm. Thumbnail you look at once, our videos burn off in a day or two.
Well, a lot of it too is because people are being really weird about coming after you for images and stuff like that.
Yeah, actually what started that, and I'll tell you what started it, and it was AI. What started it was AI. There are companies out there using AI and using reverse image searches to find photographs, and then they're saying that they have the rights to these photographs, kind of like like Warner Chappelle Music on YouTube.
Like that, yeah.
They're parasites.
And sometimes they don't, but
sometimes they don't. They just say they do
it anyway.
And you pay us $3,000 and we'll shut up, because we did a reverse image search in this article from like 5 years ago. We're gonna fine you for it, and so we're like, fine, we'll just use freaking AI images when we don't have anything else. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's just an article, or it's just what I'm saying, we're not actually putting anybody out of work. We were just gonna take an image from someplace else anyway. It's not like we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna use AI instead of hiring an artist, or we're gonna use AI instead of hiring somebody to write a script for us for a comic book. So in that case, I'm like, whatever, I don't really care. But they're basically saying that corporations are going to use AI to replace employees, but they're employees that they probably wanted to get rid of anyway.
Mm-hmm. It's an excuse.
Yeah. He says his thesis is that firms, notably tech companies, have also discovered a weight loss drug, and they're being coy about it. He writes on his blog, No Malice, No Mercy, recent financial news features two stories, layoffs and record profits. These are related. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're talking about everybody laying off. Meta, Apple. I just did a video talking about layoffs in the video game space. Galloway notes all of this comes as the tech industry has seen stellar business results. Some of them even delivered historic results. Meta announced a record $40.1 billion in revenue in the fourth quarter of 2023, while tripling net income compared to the same period the year before. Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you don't have to pay people.
Yeah, right. Or you don't have to have like the special chef, or all the gyms.
Right.
All the special, things that you have to offer them.
Right. That's the thing, because it's not just the people. It's all the support people. And then, you have to have, in HR, you've got to have more people to manage the people. They said the discrepancy points to a strategic shift rather than a need to right size an ailing company. I believe AI is playing a larger role in layoffs than CEOs will admit.
Oh, I'm sure that's true.
CEOs are being coy about it, at least in public, because there's a sense of fear surrounding the brave new world of AI. So he wouldn't comment on this article. But yeah, no tech companies have said that they're laying people off because of AI because they're not going to admit it.
No, because they're going to come after them with like pitchforks and torches all over social media if they do.
He said there were denials at first. The denials of AI raised my antenna. He said, extending his Ozempic analogy, he likens these corporate statements to people who say they cut out gluten to lose weight instead of admitting that they've started taking the weight loss drug Ozempic. Oprah Winfrey just got fired from Weight Watchers, I guess, because she got busted using Ozempic, right? Mm-hmm. They're like, what the heck?
The only bad thing is people are using it for that, and the people who actually need it for what its intended purposes can't get it. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah. It says it's easier to lose weight because Ozempic eliminates cravings. In business, AI can eliminate a craving Galloway believes companies would be happy to do away with. If consumers are willing to pay $1,000 a month to lose weight without cravings, what would a corporation pay to achieve the previously unthinkable, reducing costs while growing revenue? Yeah, it doesn't mean all jobs are going to be eliminated, and that's what people are getting all...
Well, AI can't do everything.
No, it can't
there's a lot of things
everything.
AI can't do as well. So I think that's part of it. But I don't think that's all of it.
No, I think it's a number of things. I think this is a course correction. Now, will it be an overcorrection? Possibly.
Likely. These people just do that all the time. Oh, I can bank more money if I do this. They're going to overcorrect, and then it's going to bite them in the ass, guaranteed.
Yeah, and
that's what I'm guessing.
It's just kind of like many of the companies I've been at, when they lay people off, they basically take the workload that's left and they dump it onto the remaining employees.
Mm-hmm. But they don't replace anybody, but you have to do twice the work for the same price.
Well, that's like a lot of the jobs now. We'll talk about journalism because it's really hitting journalism hard. What is actually going on is they're hiring bot farmers now to basically oversee a bunch of AI written content. So a person that might have been hired before to edit human content, it may be a normal pace, is now like, okay, you're put in charge. If you want to keep your job, you're not going to really write anything, or you're going to have to fix all this AI content, but you're going to have to crank out like 100 articles a day or something. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have a much higher quota but they're still going to have to go over this stuff because sometimes it's nonsensical or it's not SEO optimized or whatever. But yeah, we've been talking about the death of millennial media. And these two things are definitely related. This is actually coming from The Drum. They're trying to explain the death of it. And I think AI factored into it somewhat. But again, these outlets were dead weight. They were venture capital backed, non-essential businesses. So what's going on now is, when you have the opportunity to course correct, you're going to do it. And all it took was like one domino to get knocked over. Like, Elon Musk fired a bunch of people from Twitter and Twitter still works.
So what can we do? Yeah.
What can we do? How many people can we fire? Because if we fire a third of our staff, how much money are we going to save every year? We're going to fire a third of our staff, then we're going to jack our prices up, and we're going to have record profits, guys, record profits.
But again, that only lasts so long.
It only lasts so long.
That's just what happens. These companies do that, and it's not like they're not thinking long term. They're thinking, short term, and then they end up doing this stuff, and then it bites them in the ass later. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think it feels like a lot of companies now, they're not thinking 5-10 years out. They're thinking quarter to quarter.
Because we don't know what. Okay, AI is where it is now. I think it's going to end up having regulations at some point. And I think that, in a couple, it might take a while, but in 2 or 3 years, we're going to find that they're going to start to be, okay, you can't replace people here, you can't replace people there, and there's going to be regulations put in place. When that happens, you got rid of all those people, and now you have to bring a bunch of people back because you're not going to be able to do that. And I think that's what's probably going to happen at some point.
Yeah, I think so. Here's the thing though too, because a lot of people, you're saying regulations, how much money you're saving getting rid of unionized employees. Because I'm looking. That's
true.
I hate to be that guy, and I'm not. Again,
that's a very valid
I'm not
point.
Anti-union, but I'm looking at a lot of people that are getting gone from a lot of these companies, especially in journalism, and they're unionized.
That's a good point.
They cost more.
You can replace them with AI, and they don't ask for union.
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, they don't take breaks every hour. What are you talking about? This is just make the machine work harder. But this is kind of an obituary for millennial media. And this is all the stuff we've been saying. They're talking about Vice and BuzzFeed and
why do people keep acting like, okay, BuzzFeed I kind of give you because it was a kind of a bigger deal for a while and they did a lot of things on like Facebook and different places. But they keep acting like these are these big news outlets that are shutting down this. They were never considered like actual news outlets. I mean, very few people considered them legitimate news outlets.
Yeah.
You know, they were more like listicles and like, you know, skewed pop culture and news and stuff like that. And I don't think people were like, when they wanted hard hitting news, they went to Vice or BuzzFeed. You know,
Vice when it first started was actually news. It was like guerrilla journalism.
Okay, well, it hasn't been that way for a long time.
No, it hasn't been that way for a long time. Most of these sites haven't been. It's basically and I've said before, they were containers for advertising. Even the advertising is getting smarter. They're using AI to place ads now, and if they think your site is garbage, they just don't run the ads on it.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
So it's like that's killing a lot of this off.
Well,
They think the traffic is
cheating
fake.
people who cheat in the traffic, it's going to bite them in the butt because the AI is going to see it.
Yeah, they are. So yeah, they're talking about how they bit the dust at Vice. They said in the estimation of some media experts, there's going to be more bloodletting across media
100%.
in the coming months. They said the news came a day after BuzzFeed pulled the plug on BuzzFeed News last
year.
spring. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're selling Complex, which that was supposed to save them. That didn't. And they're talking about the ironic risk of building a brand on niche interests. Basically, you got to have enough people to support it. I don't think there ever was enough people legitimately. I think a lot of this was propped up with fake traffic. And that is one thing that AI does very well is it's starting to weed out. Ironically, artificial intelligence is weeding out all the fake shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I'm telling you what, for years, I can tell you there was a lot of fake shit. A lot of questionable numbers, followers, that kind of stuff. It's been going on for a long time.
Yep. And they said that all the eyeballs went to video. It all went to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and people were not going to the websites anymore. And part of it, I think, is the content is garbage. And part of it is, I hate to be that guy too, but it's hard to read. It's hard to read. It's much easier to listen to a podcast or listen to a video.
Yeah.
Have it playing in the background and you get your news that way.
But they also said they're being forced to compete with social media. And I agree with that too, because people want to go to social media because there you're not just reading the article, you can have an opinion, you can post it. You can like have discussion. Well, I wouldn't say discussion, but now it's just you can scream at everyone.
Pretty much. But some people want that.
I would say that's more enticing to people. Like I get to go in and be on, anonymously on the internet and scream my opinions at people, call them bigots and names and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, but it's all the stuff we've been saying. I mean, they're basically trying to figure out, and I don't understand why this is so hard. It's like, I don't understand why it's so hard to understand what's going on. The reason the news outlets died is that people moved on to other sources for news. They gave up going to these sites, or the sites never had legit traffic to begin with, or not enough legitimate traffic to begin with. The venture capital ran out. The reason people are getting laid off, if you're getting laid off, that means you were basically a non-essential worker. Because if you can be that easily replaced with AI, then that means you probably weren't bringing much value, anyway.
I always think it's funny when these people are like, well, you need to come here to our site and not go to like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and stuff, because here it's actual news. There it's just opinion. And it's been opinion on your site for a long time too. I mean, It is what it is. Hasn't been news for a while.
No. Well, they're talking about how, everything got fragmented now. Everything is kind of niche and diverse. And we talk about this with pop culture where everybody used to watch the same shows.
Yep.
Everybody used to watch The Cosby Show and Friends and Dallas and all, so you could talk about that, have those water cooler moments. Now everybody's just kind of off doing their own thing. Like you could have, we talk to our kids and they're like all talking about stuff going on TikTok. I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah, they start talking to each other
no
in
idea what
memes
you're talking
and
about.
like references, and I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what's going on at all. I just have to sit there like, what? Because I don't go on there, but they're like on TikTok all the time.
Yeah, so they're also talking about what we talked about, and they said that Google doesn't want you to leave the YouTube ecosystem. Facebook doesn't want you to leave Facebook because they're
yes,
monetizing you there.
I love how we've been saying this for a while, and now the media is saying it too. It's like, yes, no shit, we told you this a while ago.
Yeah, they're like, social media used to be a content aggregator. Now they want you to basically park your content on their site.
Meta doesn't make record profits if you leave their site.
It doesn't make record profits, right? So it's just, I think everything is just changing. Everything is course correcting, and there are going to be a lot of people trying to figure out what the hell happened for the next 10 years. But it's been very evident for the last at least 4 or 5 years what was going to happen. You know, hey guys, look, there's a meteor coming. Nah,
well, I think AI,
you're a Nazi.
AI hastened it like big time. Though.
AI is the
mean,
meteor.
because AI has only been like a recent issue. When we were talking about this, we weren't even thinking about that. Like it was already going down the shitter, and then AI happened, and now it's just like it hastened.
Yeah,
the comet sped up exponentially.
Oh, absolutely. So there we go, guys. Corporate Ozempic. I just love this.
Yeah, I know you do. You were very amused by that.
Yeah, it's coming from Fortune. So we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.